Flushing fire hydrants at an airport. Never gets old. One Chinook helicopter. That's right. Let's see how good our zoomer works. Wow. That thing is massive. I wish there was like a man standing by it. I guess you can tell by the size of that outhouse. That's an average man. That's a Chinook. Okay. What kind of plane is that? Jet plane. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. That's right. We are doing it again. We are testing and exercising and inspecting and wasting water, in my opinion. But when you test these fire hydrants, you're not wasting water. You can see how it's brown. Need to be flushed, and they need to be exercised, the underground valves, in case somebody hits that fire hydrant. The fire department can shut it off. But that's when it says on the report just to go flush the fire hydrants. Well, sometimes I wish that's all it really was. If that was the job, was flushing fire hydrants, that would be an easy job just to do that. But it gets really exercising when you start to exercise the underground valves. So before you flush the fire hydrant, I've already described this, seems like over too many times, I should say. But before you flush the fire hydrant, you gotta find the underground valve. That's right, there's a ground valve that is usually somewhere in front or behind the fire hydrant. So you gotta locate that. And sometimes they're really easy to find. They're like right there in the middle of the street. And sometimes, well, they're a little harder to find. There could be in the bushes, or one guy just recently had to use a metal detector. So we had to use a metal detector to find the underground valve. So yeah, you can see that water's getting pretty brown, and you're supposed to flush the water out for about a minute, but I just flush it out until it gets nice and clear. Sometimes it never gets completely clear, believe it or not. It's always a little dirty. But I've seen it where it was really brown too. I should make a video of that, the really brown water that comes out of those hydrants. So you can see where you would want to flush that hydrant out real good, because you don't want that brown water and all that junk going into the fire hydrant, the fire engine. That's right, when you see a big fire engine rolling down the road, that's actually a big pump. So it's not only a fire truck that puts out a fire, but those hoses hook up to the fire hydrant, and they run water through the hose, through the fire truck, and that pumps up the water to a higher pressure, basically. So basically a fire hydrant, water goes into the fire truck and they pump it out so it'll be a lot higher pressure and shoot water further. Boy, do I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't, but that's the concept, is to fool them, right? Is just to fool them. And hopefully that sounded good enough to fool them. You know, it seems like I've always been that way on tests, where I just guessed the right answer, and boy, I didn't get too far in school that way. So, but I guess I get far enough in life where if I correct the answer enough times, I'll get the right one, if that even came out right. Don't start testing me on English or any of that other stuff either, because I do not know how to speak proper English. But enough of me, enough of that. Let's get back to testing these underground valves and exercising them. How about that? But you can see right here, somebody drives by and I wave hi. But I was having a little hard time getting that cap on for some reason. You know, when you're on film, well, right here I saw that post got busted up, so all the concrete kind of got washed away. So I'm just kind of piling it back to where I found it. I did that later with some rocks too. When you flush these fire hydrants, you got to remember you're going to flush out anything that's around it. So anyway, I'm cleaning up the mess, as they say. I'm just about done with this one, but boy, is it always a heavy job to do this. About, I want to say, 14 times today. 15 times, actually. I had to go to another job location, so. Yeah, this guy on the golf cart, he was nice enough to go locate all 14 of them and drive me around, and he watched me exercise them and make sure I did my job right. But for the most part, he was just there supervising. So now I'm going back over there across the street. Boy, do I walk like an old man. I didn't have the camera properly placed, but that was the underground valve over there. Oh, that's the cap. I had the cap drying in the sun. So now there's one last thing to do before I be done, and that's take a picture. So time to turn this video off. Well, here's the last one that we're going to do today. I'm going to end this video pretty quick here, but this is how I exercise. See how tight those valves are? Well, we want to make sure they're all the way on, and then we want to turn them all the way off. And I know that this one has not been exercised in a while, because you can see how tight it was. But after I break it free, it actually spins pretty good. So some of these old valves, they'll work forever if you exercise them, turn them on and off once a year, but at least once every 5 years. But you can see where this hydrant is in a good spot to break. So I turned off that underground valve, and now I'm going to open up the stems. I guess I just turned it back on, so you're seeing half of this video. Yeah, I just turned the underground back on after I've already greased the stems. So you never can get too much slow motion action. I always like to see it, but sometimes it goes on and on, so I don't know how much slow motion is too much, but it is always fascinating to see the camera slow down something that moving that fast. Yep, so that it is. You right there, you are looking at the chlorinated diffuser. That orange thing that's on the fire hydrant, believe it or not, has a chlorine tablet like you use in your swimming pool. You can see that white cap. Yep, now we just drop a couple chlorine tablets down there, and as the water runs through there, it's supposed to be chlorinated and be safe enough to put down the drains. Only a few cities make you do that, and some cities won't let you put any water into the drains. Alright, well I think I'm just going to end this video with me just being quiet. The wind was really blowing hard that day, so the Insta360 is not good in the wind. So, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these flushing the fire hydrant adventures. That's right. You know, I said, where's my helper? It's a lot of work, but then I would be denying myself a good workout like this. So maybe you don't want help. If this is keeping me young, then I don't want help. But boy, do you feel it after you do this all day. It's a good workout. Exercising the valves gives me a good exercise. Like I always say, people pay good money for a workout like this. So don't tell anybody that I'm getting paid to get a good workout. But boy, you can see it right there. Am I a little tired? Right there, I flushed the fire hydrant, and that's where all the rocks came out. I was like, darn it. And now I got some rocks to clean. But
I flushed it out the other side pretty good.
all right. Well, like I said, one fire hydrant, greased, flushed, exercised. Do that about 15 times and you'll get a good workout in too. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these fire hydrant flushing at an airport adventures. Yep, now I'm picking up rocks. I should have saw that coming. Damn it, Jim. All right, you know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.